Hi friends. So when we say that given matrix is in the echelon form or not, a matrix is said to be in the echelon form. So it should satisfy these following three properties: properties 1, 2, and 3. So property 1 is about every zero row of a matrix A occur below a non-zero row, and property 2 is about in each non-zero row the first non-zero number from left is 1, that is called the leading element, or someone say pivot also. And in each non-zero row the leading element of the row Ri plus 1 is always to the right side of the leading element of Ri. So now so this is, for example, this is example number 1. This is row R1, this is row R1, let's say, and this is R2, this is R3, and this is R4. Here a row is said to be a non-zero row. At least one of the entry is non-zero. Here this is my row R1. Here this entry 1, 2, 3 are non-zero. That's why this row R1 is a non-zero row. This R2 is a non-zero row because this 1, 1, 4 are the non-zero entries. This row R3 is also non-zero. Here this last entry is 1, which is non-zero. But here R4 is the zero row because all the entries in R4s are 0. Here property 1 said every zero row of a matrix A occur below non-zero row. Here now in this example, this is the zero row of a matrix A occur below a non-zero row. So this matrix satisfy the property number 1. Now come to the property 2. In each non-zero row, so these are the non-zero row, the first non-zero number from left. This is the first non-zero number from left of row R1. This is the first non-zero number from left of row R2. This is the first non-zero number from left of row R3. Each one. So this one is called the leading element. Now, so here this example 1 satisfy the property 2 also. Now come to the property 3. In each non-zero row, the leading element of Ri plus 1 is always right side of the leading element of Ri. Means here in this example, the leading element of R2, this is the leading element of R2, and this is the leading element of R1, and this is the leading element of R3. Now here this leading element of R2 occurs right side to the leading element of R1. Here the leading element of R3 occurs right side to the leading element of R2. Here this is the leading element of R2 occurs right to the leading element of R1. Then this is the leading element of R3 occurs right to the leading element of R2. Leading element of R2 occurs right to the leading element of R1, and leading element of R3 occurs right to the leading element of R2. So this example 1 satisfy all the three property. So this is in the echelon form. Now come to the example 2. Here this is your example 2. Here all the row R1, row R2, R3 are non-zero. Now come to the second property. Here in each non-zero row, the first non-zero number from left, that is leading element is 1 of R1, leading element of R2 is 1, leading element of R3 is 1. Here the leading element of R2 occurs right side to the leading element of R1. But here the leading element of R3 occurs left side to the leading element of R2. So here this example 2 is not satisfy the property 3. This example 2 fails the property 3. So that's why this is not in the echelon form. Now come to here example 3. Here this is the leading element of row R1, leading element of row R2, this is the leading element of row R2, and this is the leading element of row R1. The leading element of row R2 occurs right side to the leading element of R1. Here the leading element of R2 occurs right to the leading element of R1. So this matrix 3 also satisfy all the properties. Here 0 row is not there, and in each leading entry of row R1 is 1, leading entry of row R2 is 1 and the leading element of R2 occurs right to the leading element of R1. So this example also satisfy all the property. So this is also in the echelon form. Now come to the example 4. Here this is the 0 row. Why? All the entries in this row are 0. So this is the 0 row. But now this is the row R2. Here this 3 entries are non-zero. So my row R2 is non-zero. But here property 1 said every 0 row of a matrix A occurs below non-zero row. But here R1 is the 0 row, R2 is the non-zero row and R1 occurs above the R2. Means 0 row of this matrix occur above non-zero row. So this matrix fails the property 1. That's why this matrix is not in the echelon form. Thank you.